Today I'm trying the world's smallest gadgets to see if they actually work as their big versions, including the smallest Cybertruck, finger Rolex, a pocket table, tennis or golf, and much more.
Okay, but what are these AirPods doing here?
Bro, that's not an AirPod.
What is it?
This is the smallest action cam in the world.
And we're starting
From Cybertruck.
Wow.
Inside this tiny box there is the smallest Tesla Cybertruck in the world.
I'm sure there are smaller models.
Maybe, but none of those are fully functional like this one.
There is a power button here on the bottom, and inside the box, the remote.
Hold on, is it actually remote control?
And not only remote controlled, but it can go off-road as well. The model got working headlights and brake lights, multiple speeds and a chassis built on 2 solid axles, which lets it climb over surprisingly big obstacles for its size.
That's why we built a whole mini off-road course for it.
With pits, logs, steep hills and even a small lake. Let's see how it handles our improvised off-road track.
Oh! 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 Oh!
The smallest RC Cybertruck drives like a full-sized one.
Oh! Oh!
And maybe even better.
It's so powerful and interesting to play with. It's even much better than I thought at the start.
Which means it's fun to use at home too. Despite the size, it never gets stuck on carpet, easily rolls over a slipper, and can even climb onto the couch by itself.
What do you think? If we raise this angle even more, will it climb?
I'm shocked.
And also, the world's smallest Cybertruck can even drive on real outdoor terrain. Grass slows it down sometimes, but overall, despite the size, it hasn't lost a single bit of functionality, and that's what matters most. It's one thing to be tiny, and another to work just as well as the big one.
And for all that, I think it deserves a high rating.
And since we like the mini Cybertruck, we found something else.
Another little car?
Yeah, that's once again little car, but this one has a completely different trick.
As many of you might have guessed, it's an FPV car. And until today, I didn't even know such things existed.
Look, a camera here is like half of a car.
By the way, the camera is removable. It attaches with a magnet, and this car doesn't have a controller, because it's driven from a phone.
And now setting power to 100%.
Nope. And the video feed goes straight to the phone too. But is it convenient to drive like this? Well, not really, but the cool part is, you can drive it all over the apartment because you see the live feed from the car in real time. Unlike the previous one, it can't really handle obstacles, but this one has speed and steering adjustments, and moreover, it can drift.
In a way, it's almost a spy gadget. You can drive around and peek at what people are doing, and I like it.
And I don't like it though.
Anyway, let's settle on an average rating, 5 out of 10. All my life I've tried to figure out which pocket pull everyone is talking about, and here it is.
A mini version of the table, the balls, the cues, and the full pull setup.
Basically, a full copy of a regular billiard table in miniature.
Let me show you how to play pool. I'm a professional in it. How do you do that? Okay, it's basically a pain to play, so I'm giving it 1 of 10.
But overall, the table itself is pretty well made. And if you get the hang of it, you can actually play. The ball reset system is surprisingly convenient. And the size lets you play almost anywhere, even if it's not fully functional. Definitely earns a 7 out of 10. If your place looks like one of those meme apartments, you've still got 3 more ways to have fun here.
This is the world's tiniest darts. Ow!
You're sharp.
The target sticks to the wall easily, but you absolutely can't pierce it with the included darts, even though they're sharp enough but too light to actually hit the target.
Almost catch my eye.
So even if you were a tiny person with a tiny room, sadly you can't really play this mini dartboard.
And it's a shame, the idea is actually pretty cool. This is the smallest table tennis in the world.
But if darts could at least work in theory, the world's smallest table tennis is totally untrustworthy.
I can't believe we can't play with this ball and this rocket.
Just as I thought, the creators went way too far shrinking it down, and now it's basically unusable.
Oh. But that was an exception. Most of the time it doesn't want to bounce, so it's impossible to play with.
Although, after a couple hours of trying, we almost managed to hit the ball the first time. So in theory, this table tennis could only work for a mini version of us in a parallel universe. In the real world, I can't give it a high rating. There's a slightly bigger table tennis version, and this one you can actually play. Not just playable, it's actually pretty fun. And if there's nothing else, it could even replace real table tennis.
But that's not the tiniest table tennis in the world.
Still, this one gets my well-earned recommendation. We've got mini games for everyone, and even if you're a mini millionaire, there's something to play with.
Everything's so nicely detailed, look. There are 3 cues, all different, and such tiny but such well-detailed balls. The only funny part is that the flag made out of a toothpick. I laughed like a typical golf player. It's a joke.
By the way, no joke, the golf may be way too tiny, and it would have been better a bit bigger, but it's still playable.
Yes!
And also, the good thing is, games like this are always a perfect excuse to hang out with friends.
Oh! Wow! What if I told you I bought a Rolex for literally $1?
For real? Where is it?
Here it is in my hand.
Damn.
Yep, these are the smallest Rolexes in the world. Well, actually it's only the Rolex design. In reality, they're just not wrist, but finger watches.
And they actually works?
Yep, look, you just remove the little tab and the watch starts ticking.
And just like the real ones, they have settings and even a second hand.
Do they tick?
I don't know. Yeah, can you imagine? I'm not sure how to convey that to you, but let me try to place it to the microphone.
And in terms of exclusivity, they're even cooler. Nobody else has such watches yet.
By the way, I didn't expect that, but they fit very comfortably on the finger, almost unnoticeable.
Overall, I really liked them. Plus, there's a whole bunch of different designs in this set.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the smallest voice changer in the world.
What?
Didn't hear anything either, yeah?
No.
This thing is supposed to be the world's smallest megaphone that makes your voice louder, and can even change it depending on the mode.
And there are 4 modes, and guess how many of them works properly?
0?
None.
Technically, they're all different, but in reality, almost every word and phrase just comes out as a mess. The most it can do is make different sounds funnier, but definitely not speech louder.
We found only one mode that worked more or less properly, but only in a whisper.
And even then, calling it sound boosting would definitely be a stretch. Another one of these sketchy gadgets we found is the world's smallest microscope.
I guess it might work.
And it turns out the operator was right.
Oh wow!
What?
I see everything.
The microscope actually magnifies, and thanks to its own light and focus, the image stays clear. To show this to you, we had to come up with a whole setup to attach it to an iPhone. But now we can see what a leaf, a ballpoint pen, the pixels on the iPhone, and the operator's dirty phone look like.
Man, you should immediately clean your iPhone. So bad. Oh.
And even take a detailed look at what the phobos looks like under the microscope. Ew. And someone actually came up with the idea to eat this.
So that's a very nice thing. Moreover, you can see even better when you look by your eye and not with the phone.
I am giving it an 8 out of 10.
Here we have a tiniest fitness tracker ever.
Cause this is not a watch or a bracelet, it's a real fitness ring. You just wear it on your finger like a regular ring, but then all your stats appear on your phone. Sleep, steps, calories, heart rate, and even a stress level.
And what do you think, will it work?
Alright, let's start with the easiest part first, the steps. We start the counter on both the Apple Watch and the ring, and then walk 3 laps of 330 meters each, which is exactly 1 kilometer.
And now let's check the results. Okay, as for Apple Watch, it turns out to be 101 kilometer and 1176 steps. And as for the ring, wow, that's not bad. 104 kilometers and 1292 steps. Very accurate for such a device. And now let's check the heart rate.
Heart rate is a different story. At rest, the difference between the Apple Watch and the ring is minor. But as soon as I did a bit of exercise, the difference grew significantly, a full 50 beats per minute.
So about the heart rate, it's more like random. And now about sleep measuring.
Time and sleep cycles on the ring? Yeah, of course I'm not going to sleep here.
Well, I've tested it for a couple of days, and honestly, it tracks your sleep pretty accurately, and for its price it works surprisingly well. Sure, it's not as precise as a smartwatch, but I'd say it easily hits about 80% accuracy.
Which in general gives the ring extra points along with a convenient charging case and a simple easy to use app. That's pretty much it. Now, as the cameraman said, the very same AirPods.
Alright, enough already, man.
This is Insta360 Go 2, and to this day it remains to be the smallest action cam in the world.
I think there are smaller ones.
Yes, they are, but they're all kind of incomplete. Some of them lack of stabilization, some of them of wide-angle shooting, and some of them don't record more than Full HD.
But the Insta is a full-featured camera, with image quality you'd hardly distinguish from a higher-end GoPro. But the point here isn't the quality. The convenient case, as the cameraman said, like the AirPods one.
Oh, come on, that's enough, seriously.
Turning into a mini tripod. It also controls the camera and charges it, but also the camera can be used separately. And in that form, it weighs just over 20 grams. The camera itself is magnetic, so it can attach to anything metallic. Honestly though, mounting it in other ways is no problem either. Thanks to its size and weight, it can hold and shoot where other cameras would have long dropped off. And that opens up tons of opportunities to capture exclusive creative shots.
We'll never be able to fly it with another action cams, and with this, it will.
And this one we easily mounted, so now we can fly not just with the headset view, but with high quality footage from the camera, just like on big FPV drones. No other camera could get off the ground, and this one even has enough stabilization to make drone shots look perfectly fine. By the way, speaking of stabilization, it's great in the camera itself, it lets you shoot on the move. And one of the coolest things, this neck mount. You can clip the camera right onto a t-shirt or sweatshirt, making POV shots even easier, almost like meta glasses, only this came out 5 years ago. As for the downsides, only no external memory recording, and a pretty laggy app. And overall, definitely a like.
Even then the camera is from 2021 and there are newer versions with improved sensor, it's still holding its ground cause they're almost twice as heavy.
Next up is a mini version of a blower.
Dual power, strong air power, plugs into USB computers or charging adapters, ergonomic design, size doesn't matter.
Which promises to work just like a full-sized one despite its size. By the way, it can run either on the batteries inside or through a USB cable. Well, let's test it right away. Yeah, looks like this microblower needs micro leaves. Or whatever else it needs, I have no idea. If even blowing with my mouth is like 5 times stronger.
I just really don't get why it's like this. After all, in the same size there are blowers that are hundreds of times stronger. I have a joke about it. This blower didn't blow up my mind. And didn't do me a blowjob.
That's pretty much it.
And that's the biggest from the tiniest gadgets. Because that's the tiny version of claw machine.
Even shrunken down, it still takes up some space. It comes with coins for the game and powered by 3 of these huge batteries.
To be honest, this is the first time I see something is powered by such batteries. I thought that's just for decoration or something like this.
You're supposed to fill the machine with candy or something like tiny toys, and the gameplay turned out to be way harder than you'd expect.
Look how it stands now.
Trying to grab and pull out a candy with that claw is almost impossible. And we spent nearly 2 hours playing just to get anything out.
Yes.
Well, okay, I won't lie, we liked it. Especially the moment of pulling something out, because it turned into a big challenge of its own.
Yeah! Well, we played 2 hours of this game just to get 4 candies, but this scene is so much fun that it definitely deserves a high rating. I totally like it.
As for the more useful gadgets, here we've got 3 of them. These mini keychain tools aren't just pretty, each one actually has its feature. For example, the tiny adjustable wrench can help you tighten something up. It might save you if all you have on you are your keys. And there's a nut you can't loosen with anything else.
Yeah, of course, that's not the best option, but if you don't have anything else near to you, that will definitely help.
Same with the mini caliper. You won't use it professionally, but in a pinch, it's totally fine. It has both external and internal measurement options, and even though it has about half a millimeter of error, it's good enough to, for example, measure a pipe in a supermarket, clip it onto your keys, and it'll always be with you. And also the tape measure. I think this one needs no explanation. It's exactly 2 meters long, the mechanisms work, and the markings are accurate.
At the same time, that's not such a small one. I think there are smaller measure tapes.
So yeah, hope we all agree on the ratings. The next 3 gadgets emit light, so we'll have to turn ours off. And the first one, just like me, you probably spotted the Minecraft torch. Yep, it lights up just like the real thing, only way too weak. They really could have made it brighter, because with a torch like this, you're not getting far into any cave. A totally opposite story is the smallest flashlight in the world. It's literally the size of a fingernail, but it actually shines surprisingly well. In a dark apartment or outside, you can realistically light your way. Roughly like 2 or 3 phone flashes.
On my personal keys I have this tiny one from Nightcore, and let's be honest, it's much brighter.
Whoa.
Feels the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also much bigger, I think 4 times or something. But in the past I thought this one is the smallest in the world, but it's not.
Plus, it runs on small batteries, you can easily replace in a need. And the rubber ring on the body, along with the description, hints that it's waterproof. We checked, and it really is. Overall, I'm happy with this flashlight. But this smallest projector in the world didn't inspire confidence from the start. And after turning it on, everything was confirmed. Huge pixels, low brightness, noise, and sound quieter than a phone. Good only to play around with. Well, what else can you expect from a $10 device? Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 of different smallest gadgets went by like 5. Tell me in the comments which mini gadget was your favorite, and see you in the next video.